Hi everybody, it's Aunt Molly. It's another time. Oop, I got a piece of hair just sticking straight up. Wow. It's story time with Aunt Molly again. And it's a time for another installment of the Raggedy Ann stories, which we started yesterday. As you recall, yesterday I talked too much and we just got to the preface. And today we'll probably, to be honest, just get to the introduction. But the introduction looks pretty cute. So, I think we'll enjoy that. But I was digging around in my armoire, which is an old cabinet where I keep all my dolls and old books for the other Raggedy Ann, but I think she's in an old trunk I have, so I'll look there tomorrow. But I found this doll. It turns out I have quite a few rag dolls. And I have this doll, which is an interesting doll I got when I was on a road trip to Washington, D.C. When I was 11. My folks took me out of school for a month, and my teachers were really, really mad, but my dad said it was a great education for me, and so he fought with them and won, and I was able to go. But we drove up the Natchez Trace, and I saw the Smithsonian, and I saw the White House, and I went to Jefferson's house and Washington's house, and we ate the kind of food they ate in colonial times, and we went to the Ohio Canal and saw how a canal works, and I learned about that. My dad was a civil engineer. I don't know if you knew that or not, but he loved learning about how things worked, so that was interesting to him. But this doll is a cool doll. It's a rag doll, so it's made out of old scraps and things like that. But she's not only two-faced, but she's three-faced. So the wolf is on this side, and there used to be a little colonial hat that went right there. And then here's the surprise, Little Red Riding Hood's on this side. Now, she used to have a little red cape. I don't know what happened to it, but I imagine I should make her another and fix her little ponytail, because her little ponytail's all messed up. So I should either make her another one or put this back here or do something. But that's not Goldilocks. It's Red Riding Hood. But she's made all by hand. They probably had a little pattern they use, and so anyway, I'm gonna have grandmother doll sit with us during this story today, and she's promised me that she would take very good care of Raggedy Ann and make her behave today and not be quite so naughty, huh, grandmother doll? Okay, so I want to know, did you get your crazy hat to wear today? Well, go get it. Go get a crazy hat. Doesn't matter what it is. It could just be any hat. Any hat would do. My crazy hat today is a construction hat, and it was my dad's. My dad was real into construction. He was usually the head of construction of many projects over his 40-year career, and so today I thought I would wear that. Yesterday, my nieces and my daughter and I were talking on. We were on Google Hangout. Yeah, that's what it's called. And we were talking about this, WA5DUC. My dad was a ham radio operator. Sorry, the dust from the dolls is getting to me a little. And that was his call name. That was his handle. And ham radios are very good in times of national urgent situations, because you don't have to rely on telephones. You can actually use the airways and communicate all over the world just using radio waves. So it's kind of cool. But he was an avid ham radio operator. You'll have to Google what that is. It's kind of cool. Oh, okay. Glasses, check. Hair, check. Hat, sassy. Grandma and Raggedy, are you ready? Yeah! Let's get on with the story now. So without further ado, we're going to read about the Raggedy Ann stories. Okay, everybody ready? Okay. So this is the introduction now. So, introduction. Marcella liked to play up in the attic at Grandma's quaint old house way out in the country, where there were so many forgotten things to find out there. One day, when Marcella was up in the attic and had played with the old spinning wheel until she'd grown tired of it, she sat curled up on an old sofa to rest. I wonder what's in that barrel way back in the corner, she thought, as she jumped from the sofa and climbed over two dusty trunks to the barrel standing back under the eaves. It was quite dark back there, so when Marcella had pulled a large bundle of things from the barrel, she took them over to the dormer window where she could see better. There was a funny little bonnet with long white ribbons. Marcella put it on. In an old leather bag, she found a number of tintypes. That's an old-fashioned type of early photography where they actually printed the photographs on metal. Yeah, tintypes of weird-looking men and women in old-fashioned clothes, kind of like this, yeah. And there was one picture of a very pretty girl with long curls tied tightly back from her forehead and wearing a long dress and weird pantaloons which reached her shoe top. And then out of the heap she pulled an old rag doll, boop boop, with only one shoe button eye and a painted nose and smiling mouth. Her dress was of soft material, blue with pretty little flowers and dots all over it. Well, my other Raggedy Ann, I think she only has one eye, actually. And this one's dress has gone missing. You know, I let other children play with my stuff and things happen. So I think I may have to make her a little dress because all I've got is her little pinafore right now. She needs a little blue dress. But anyway, moving on. Forgetting everything else in the happiness of her find, Marcella caught up the rag doll and ran downstairs to show it to Grandma. Well, well, where did you find it? Grandma said. It's old Raggedy Ann. And she went and hugged the doll to her breast. And that's how I feel too. When I see a Raggedy Ann, I want to hug it to me and hug, hug, hug. I had forgotten her. She's been in the attic for 50 years, I guess. I think my doll has been in storage pretty much for 40 years, easy. 50 years, I guess. Well, well, dear old Raggedy Ann, I will sew another button on her right away. And Grandma went to the machine drawer and got out her needle and thread. The sewing machine drawer is what they meant. So see how I want to repair my dolls now? Me and Grandma are a lot alike, huh, today. Marcella watched the sewing while Grandma told how she played with Raggedy Ann when she was a little girl. Now, Grandma laughed. Raggedy Ann, you have two fine shoe button eyes, and with them, see the shoes used to have buttons on them. This is so old-fashioned. The shoes used to have buttons on them. They were tiny little round buttons. I've actually seen them. I have a button collection. I bet I have a shoe button I could show you sometime. But that's a lot more digging because I have a lot of stuff. But anyway, shoe buttons. They were tiny little things, and they buttoned their shoes. They had high button shoes. If you ever watched the show, the movie Meet Me in St. Louis, they wore high button shoes. Yeah, Judy Garland wore those and that, so you could see what they look like. But anyway, and Grandma went to the sewing machine drawer and got her needle and thread. Marcella watched the sewing while Grandma told how she played with Raggedy Ann when she was a little girl. Now, Grandma laughed, Raggedy Ann, you have two fine shoe button eyes, and with them you can see the changes that have taken place in the world while you have been shut up for so long in the attic. Oop, about to go dark on me there. For Raggedy Ann, you have a new playmate and mistress now, and I hope you both will have as much happiness together as I used to have. Then Grandma gave Raggedy Ann to Marcella, saying very seriously, Marcella, let me introduce my dear friend Raggedy Ann. Raggedy, this is my granddaughter Marcella. And Grandma gave the doll a twitch with her fingers in such a way that the doll nodded her head to Marcella. It's just like kind of when I gave one of my Raggedy's to Asha. I passed on the Raggedy Ann love of Raggedy Ann tradition to Asha. Isn't that fun? If you're very good, I'll get you a Raggedy Ann too, of your very own. Then, let's see. Oh, Grandma, thank you ever, ever, ever so much, Marcella cried as she gave Grandma a hug and kiss. Raggedy Ann and I will just have loads of fun. And this is how Raggedy Ann joined the doll family at Marcella's house, where she began the adventures of Raggedy Ann told in the following stories. And then there's a beautiful little 1920s illustration. I love children's books illustrations, especially vintage ones. It's one of my favorite things. Let me see if I can you guys see that? See, that's Marcella with Raggedy and with another dolly there, probably another vintage doll. I had given Bee some vintage dolls too. Bee, do you still have those? Let's see what else. Ooh, we just have a couple seconds left. Okay, I wanted to say hi to Kendrick, Austin, and Mina Fox. I forgot to say that yesterday. I didn't forget you, but I forgot to say it. Okay, my time's up. Love you guys. Talk to you tomorrow. Bye.